Hi, this is Anthony, and today is day 17 of 365 days of bringing you video content for the year 2026. Yesterday, I introduced the topic to you of redirecting our mind and redirecting our focus. The more we focus on negative things, the more negative things we will notice, and the more negative things we notice, the more we will think about negative things, and we will then allow that cycle to continue. The way that we think is the lens by which we see the world. So Paul gives us an antidote to obsessing over the negative in Philippians 4:8, where he says, think on good things. And so the more good things we think on, the more good things we will notice. And the more good things we notice, the more good things we will think about. And that cycle will continue. And our focus and our thinking, again, will be the lens by which we see the world. And so in Philippians 4:8, Paul says this. He says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, Paul says, think on these things. And so today I want to talk to you about thinking on the first thing he mentions, which is think on things that are true. So what is true? Well, Jesus is true. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Of course we should focus on Jesus. The more we focus on him, the more we will think on him, the more we will see him and experience him, and then the more we will think on him, and that cycle will continue. What else is true? Well, God's word is truth. So the more we read God's word, the more we meditate on God's word, the more we will think on God's word, the more we will notice God's word in our lives and how it applies to us, and that cycle will continue. So we need to think about these things. Think about the truth of Christ, think about the truth of Christ's word. But then something else that encourages me when I think about things that are true is to think about my testimony. That I have been saved by the grace of God through the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. I've received his grace through faith, and sometimes I just have to focus on the fact that I am a child of God. And the more I think about that, the more I behave like that. If I want to throw in the towel in ministry, I have to remind myself of the testimony of Jesus calling me into ministry. And I have to remember the words spoken over me. I have to remember how I felt and the experience. In order to keep going, I need to remind myself of the truth. In my marriage, I have to remind myself, we remind ourselves as husband and wife, that we love one another, that we committed ourselves to one another, that we said I do to one another 26 years ago. We have to remind ourselves of the truth of the love and the life we've experienced. We always need to think on true things, and the more true things we think about, the more true things we will see, and the more we think about those things in return. God bless. I'll talk to you tomorrow.